thing was a big thing that ultimately, got to a point where it became big. Just like hyperinflation starts from inflation, which is obvious because inflation is in the word hyperinflation. And you know, hyper connotates to something happening random, so like rapidly. But we can Google this word hyper. Here it is. Hyperinflation. So let's go in this picture. Hyperinflation is when the prices of goods and services rise more than 50%. I'm guessing that says in a month, although it's cut off a little bit. So that's already implying that things are raising at a rapid pace. Inflation, it can be inflation can be steady because inflation happens quite a lot, but it's gonna get to a point now that we're edging closer and closer to Jacob's trouble that this inflation that's gonna happen, this hyperinflation that's gonna happen, is gonna far surpass any other inflation um ever before in history. And then what else you're gonna have things like famine, things like pestilences. You're gonna have different types of things. That's how we know that we're in that time. But of course, the average Joe, they want to stay ignorant to that and be like, oh, I have I'm gonna watch this, or oh, they've been saying that for a long time. I don't think this is gonna happen. Just because you may not think something is gonna happen, there ain't nothing wrong with taking heed to it, and then just say, all right, although I don't think that this is gonna happen, I'm gonna keep an eye out, because especially what's been going on in 2021, for example. You can't write anything off. But the average person doesn't even think like that. Even if you were to go back in history and even look at the correlations between, and these are average historians. I remember I was reading some things about it, just before this video, but I didn't want to make it too long-winded because there was a lot of information to get through. But you know, until I get not even using this as an excuse, but when I get either more storage, or shout out to the brother Ashamat again for giving me the information to go, to do with lives. I'll be able to get up more information, but my phone keeps cutting up when I try to do long videos like that. So probably wise to to try and get that live platform sorted out. Other one this week. By the end of this week, I can get that one sorted out. But anyway, so with too much currency sloshing around, prices skyrocketing, like I said before, things rising at a rapid rate. Because the government, what happens, they keep printing, to a point it's almost like this thing is printed so much, it's almost like it's valued nothing. I remember I was in a history class. I heard that there was this country in the land of Ham. They had $1 trillion note, but the $1 trillion was valued like, and I don't think it was, at most it was valued £10. It wasn't not valued that much. And that's how serious that inflation was kicking off over there. But you see all everything that's gonna happen, everything get ready to happen, are stuff that have happened before, on a lower level. Yeah, I can't remember where it's at. Let me just Google it. Yeah, things. Uh, Learning. And it's almost like the average, the average Jake as well. They, I don't understand, because you have other nations, that we sitting there and like, oh, they be more, weary, and they'll be more inclined to listen than even certain Jakes, man, because you have certain Jakes that, you know, just so hard headed, man. But obviously we know that you know, it's not for other nations. You know, it's only for Israel. But what I'm saying is that they'll be like, oh, you know, fair enough. I may not agree with what you're saying, but I can't really argue against it. But anyway, Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So everything in the scriptures, you should be reading them to build yourself up for things that are yet to happen, and also things that are happening. You know, you can look in the scriptures and again read when it happened at a different point. Just roughly paraphrase, not roughly paraphrase, just to give you a brief, what's that word? Just to give you a brief explanation. You know, because if you're, if since we have this knowledge, we have this truth, then we can remain stable because we like, oh, you understand why this is happening. Oh, this something like this has happened before. Oh, this is prophesied to happen. So it's always something that can build you up because when you have something written before time, it's something that you should take note of because it will happen again, especially in the time that we're in. But anyway, the video call before, I didn't really have anything else, so I'll probably just close it out here. I pray this lesson was edifying, and in closing, I want to give our praises and in glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakadash. Until next time, Shalom.